back with another review. Today it's of the recently re-released JG AK74u. This is the U version, or the version with the collapsible stock, shorter front end, etc., etc. Everyone who's watching this video will probably know from video games. So here we go. I usually don't show the boxes in any reviews because there's really nothing special about them. But this one there was. For the first thing, look how flashy it is. I mean, this is a JG gun. Look at this. This is unbelievable. I've never seen a JG like this before. But yeah, there's your stuff. You want to read that, go ahead. Another thing too that kind of blew me away about this gun was the packaging. It's got this nice dark foam. I love having it. I love having my guns packed in this because I know it's not going to come damaged in shipping, and it's not going to come damaged anywhere. So wherever this gun goes, if it's in this case, it's more likely not going to get damaged. But really nice packaging. What you're going to get with the gun, you're going to get, you know, a standard 8.4 volt stick battery by JG. These batteries are a hit or miss. For me, they've all been hits because I own 3 of them. Let me tell you, they work really great. These are probably some of the best batteries I've gotten so far. But they're great batteries. They have a good charge. I personally like them. You're also going to get a high cap mag, which is in the Bakelite version, I guess. Imitation Bakelite. I mean, it's alright. It feels a little bit cheap, but it does have the correct kind of color. Not the correct pattern though. It does have a spot here for a winding wheel, which the gun does come with. Yeah, it's just like a standard AK high cap mag. And then unjamming rod, of course. Then you're also going to get a winding key and a front side adjustment tool with your trickle charger. Now, one thing that did kind of disappoint me about this gun was it did not come with an all metal black flash hider. These are the brand new 2012 models. As many of you know, these guns have been really hard to get your hands on. They're just starting to come back into the retailers. They kind of released them. They were out for a little bit, then they just went away and no one's been able to get their hands on them. But now they're back, brand new 2012 models. They don't come with a black flash hider, just so you know that. And of course you'll get the gun, which is right here. Now you can see I've done a little bit of stuff to it. I put this silencer on here for the main reason I put a longer inner barrel in, and a brand new inner barrel. The only thing I've really done to this gun, just because even till today their Chinese hop-ups really are terrible, so I replaced the nub, the bucking, and the inner barrel, and it shoots fine. So let's go over basically the external build of this gun. Everything is solid steel. It's a steel construction. The handguards up here were probably the only disappointment. Yeah, they look kind of nice. They're more of a dark color. You know, you can look at some of the Echo 1s. Their AKs are more of a light color. I prefer a dark color. When you see this in the box, it looks great, but that love affair ends when you pick them up. They feel really cheap, really lightweight, and the finish they put on them just makes them feel like plastic. When I picked it up out of the box, I was like, wow, this is not wood at all. But then I took the handguards off, looked underneath them, and saw, yes, they were indeed wood. I think they're some kind of lightweight wood, but it's nothing overly exciting about. As you can see, it's got these little divots in on each side, and it's pretty scratched up. So not the best, but it gives it a little bit of character, and it looks better than most wood AEGs on the market. But yeah, all metal construction. You do have a folding stock. Locks into place on the side. When it's locked in, it only moves up and down. To release it, you have a small little knob right here. Unlike most AKs where you can just push a button and it'll come off, you have to actually reach your finger in there manually and pull it out. Now, you do have their little cowbell on here, their sling mount. I put some E-tape on it, which doesn't seem to be working, so I'll have to put more E-tape on it, but you can still hear it pretty well. Now, one thing about this gun that I really liked is, if you look around, there's no Made in China stamping on here, which is nice. They put it on the pistol grip for once, which is, like I said, nice, because now you can remove your pistol grip and put a new one on, and you don't have that stupid Made in China look on it. As you can see, there is a serial number of some sort and then made in China below it. Main body here, steel. Like I said, the upper dust cover is different from other AKs as well, because instead of just coming right off, it hinges, which exposes your battery space, the blowback system, the fuse, and yeah. One thing that was kind of disappointing, one of the only things I was disappointed about this gun, was how the battery space worked. On most AKs, they usually put the wire way back here. On Tokyo and Marui's, they put the wire up here. They put it right in the middle, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I could put the 8.4 volt in fine and it would fit, but once I tried to put a 9.6 in, a 9.6 would fit in the gun, but it was hard to get all the wires into place. Kind of a disappointment. I could still do it, but it felt like I was ruining the wires to the gun and the battery. But yes, you can put a 9.6 in here if you wanted to. Another thing that kind of was disappointing is when you lift up on the hinge, and I don't know if this is with most AKs that have this design, but the entire top piece just comes off. The only thing holding this piece in place is this pin right here. Let me show you that again. When it goes up, that pin goes away. When it comes down, pin comes out and locks the handguard into place. Now they might have done this for easier battery housing. Maybe you can put your battery in and see if it's good. Set this on, line it up, and then boom, you're good. I personally don't like this. It makes me feel like this piece is going to come really loose after time and just not stay secure. But it's all personal preference, like I said. The selection switch on this gun is really nice. Unlike my D-Boys, where it's just flying around the whole place, it's very crisp and very tight. When I got this gun out of the box, it barely even moved, and I've started to break it in a little bit more. Another thing that's nice too is the divots where the piece actually connects to are a lot deeper than most guns, so it's not only going to last longer, but it'll click into place a lot better. And you also do have the correct Russian markings on here, full auto, semi-auto. Now a quick minor note on this gun is the trigger guard right here. It's actually removable and it's not riveted in, which is nice because you can buy aftermarket trigger guards in case it breaks, or you just want to change it out for a different model. I know they make one where the lever's down here instead of right here, but you just remove these 4 screws and the entire thing will come off. Like on the D-Boys, it's riveted in, you can't do anything about it. Now, since it is of the 74U style, it's got a different type of sight on here. As you can see, the first aperture is more a notch, and it's got the Russian U character. I don't know what that is. And then you can flip it down, 4 to 5. It is a little bit different. I have looked at the apertures closely. The 4 to 5 is more wide and rounded at the bottom. The U1 is slightly narrower and more square at the bottom. But for Airsoft, when you're aiming down the sights, you can't tell the difference. So the back sight's non-adjustable except for the aperture. The front sight is just a little pin, and you use your front sight adjustment tool to screw it up and screw it down. And then going on to the front here, it originally will come with the Blaze Orange Krinkov style flash hider. What I did to do to take it off was I took a heat gun to it for shrink wrap, went all the way around, and it came off. But kind of surprising after that, because underneath the 14mm counterclockwise thread was this thing. It was just slapped on there, set in by 2 set screws. I don't know what it's for. It's got irregularly pitched threads, or not pitched threads, it's just got irregular threads you don't see in Airsoft. But it was just screwed on there, so you have there's 2 Allen heads. One right there, and then spinning around there's another one. You remove that, and then it'll reveal your 14mm counterclockwise, which is what I have on here. It's just a quick detach matte bulb flash hider or silencer to cover up the inner barrel I have on here. And if you wanted to know, the inner barrel I have on here is a M4 length 6.03 JBU barrel, which I love JBU barrels, but that's another story. Alright, for internals on the gun, you can check the video description and the annotation somewhere on the screen. Check those out. It should be up sometime after I upload this video. But yeah, if you didn't know, this gun does have an electric blowback feature. which is different from most guns, because most AKs don't have that. But basically what happens is there's a bar that goes into the top of the gearbox, and it sits on the back of the piston. Whenever the piston moves back, that bar is connected to the bolt as well. Piston goes back, the bolt goes back, and it just reciprocates. Now, most people either love this or hate it. Personally, I love it. A lot of people don't like it because they think that it's going to ruin the gun's internals, etc., etc. Hey, it might, but for me, I know how to repair it, and I also know how to disassemble it. So if anything does break, I can repair it, and if it just keeps breaking, I'll disassemble it. It's really easy. You just got to remove 2 screws, and then 1 more screw back here, and it's basically disassembled. The only con about this feature that I found was it doesn't allow full movement of your bolt. Even if it's on a different fire selection, that's about as far as your bolt's going to move. Unlike on my D-Boys AK, I can take it and rip it all the way back like a real AK, which is really nice. But that's all the movement you're going to get. It is, though, really loud and intimidating. I can't wait to take this out on a field because just from shooting it, test firing it, with this bolt going on, it gets pretty loud. It's a very intimidating gun, I'll tell you that much. Another reason I like the blowback feature is if your gun is ever half cocked or half wound, you'll be able to tell because you'll have your gun, the bolt, maybe locked back here or here or here, and if it's ever like that, you'll know to go to semi-auto, and you'll save your gun internal-wise. It'll just give the gun more longevity. But yeah, that's the blowback system. I'll show it to you in the internal video. Overall, this is a really nice gun, considering I only paid $160 for it. I mean, you look at a VFC AKU, and yeah, the internals are going to be so much better, the hop-up's going to be better, etc., etc., but for the most part, the externals on each of the guns are the same. I mean, this is a full steel body. It's got a side-folding stock, locks into place. I mean, you even have a blowback system. Now, VFC doesn't have that one now, does it? It does have quote-unquote wood handguards. They get the job done. They look nice. I mean, it's got all the features of the VFC, but it just doesn't have the internals. But for me, like I said, it doesn't matter because I can repair them. But yeah, overall, it's a great gun. And if you like AKs, especially in this format, because I love AKs in this format, you'd be crazy not to get one. It's $155. You get a battery, you get a charger, you get the gun with an amazing external build. The only thing that disappointed me, though, was, and it didn't come with a black flash hider. Really drove me crazy for about the first 2 days I had this gun, because I was really expecting to have one, but the new models, I guess, they're not shipping with them anymore. So yeah, that's been the review of the JG AK74u.